Hello everyone, it's Mary Ann here. I'm reaching out today because a good friend of mine, Reverend William Barber, who is a tireless advocate for social justice and reform, is going to be speaking. And he's going to be speaking about the fact that last week he wanted to take his 92-year-old mom to go see The Color Purple. And because he's always has struggled with a disability requiring him to have a special chair to be able to sit in, he brought that chair with him, sat in the handicap row, which he's done many times. And unfortunately, the manager made him leave and would not allow him to use that chair. This is really symptomatic of a lack of understanding and compassion that has been growing toward those with disabilities over the last number of years. And it's worried me deeply because I've seen people such as Trump and Abbott push for rolling back handicap accessibility laws. So I'm looking at this not just as an individual act of a lack of understanding and compassion, but also looking at the fact that some people are looking at handicap accessibility as a burden. And I would rather try and encourage people to think about it in terms of when you make something more accessible for handicapped people, it allows us to be able to contribute more to society. So I'd encourage people not to think about it in terms of a burden, but actually an investment that allows you and everybody else in part of society to benefit more from the contributions we have the potential to make and be able to serve. My handicap, if you will, has been my hearing loss, which I was born with. I have a tonal hearing loss, and read lips to understand a lot of what people have to say. Was trained to be able to speak with the rubber gloves that people put in my mouth to shape my tongue to say words like crown and crayon. And I still have a lot of trouble hearing in really loud environments today. But because I was given an ability to have access to training, I've been able to speak all over the world in the House of Lords, United Nations, at the White House, just all over the place, TEDx. And that was because someone in all those places took the time to make it possible for me to participate. And I hope that I've been able to contribute through my life to society. And if you see any value of someone like me and what I've been able to do, you must understand that that is because others took the time to make this world more accessible for me so that I can contribute more for you and everybody else that I meet. Reverend William Barber has done that times a million. He is doing such good work in this world. And it's a real shame that someone like him who wanted to just take his 92-year-old mother out to a movie, and believe me, I know the hard work that is because, I was taking my 86-year-old mom there in a wheelchair, and it was 3 hours to get somewhere, prepare. 2 hours was just preparation to get her in the car. It's a lot of hard work. So the fact that he required that hard work, as well as having all the hard work to help her, that was so much effort to have a beautiful shared memory, which become increasingly more precious and rare as our parents get older. So to have someone say, no, you have to leave, you can't use your special chair, really was kind of heartless. Now, I acknowledge that the CEO of AMC Theaters actually went out of his way to try and, apologize and try and change the tone and increase compassion and understanding among the people that he employs, and that's wonderful. And so I applaud him for taking the right steps for that. And of course, I don't think a CEO is responsible for every single action of every single person, but he has taken responsibility to increase compassion, understanding, and accessibility in AMC theaters. But I applaud Reverend William Barber for going above and beyond to try and make sure that people are thinking about this in a larger context. And I also want to encourage you, whoever you are out there listening to this, to think about an even bigger context, because I'm worried that this is symptomatic of a lack of compassion in general that we're hearing in politics, such as, again, with Trump encouraging people to roll back handicap accessibility laws, encouraging a whole demographic of people, those with disabilities, to be perceived as a huge burden, as less than. I hope that people can think twice about that. Sometimes those of us with disabilities are not always super obvious, but, people learn how to compensate like I do. But believe me, we're all around you, and chances are if you're listening to this, you know at least one, and probably many more than you realize, that deal with handicap accessibility issues all the time. And believe me, And the more you make this world accessible for us, the more we can contribute to it and help this world be a better place for you and for us. And that's what we want to do. Every human being deserves to be able to put a positive impact out there into this world. And that is basically the soul of humanity, of individuals. When we don't feel value in ourselves, then we kind of stop living. And that's all they're asking for. That's all we're asking for. So anyway, I encourage you, if you care about this or you know someone with a disability in your life, to take a chance, listen to the live stream that's going to be going on in just a few minutes with Reverend William Barber and his team. And I'll add the link below for those of you that want to follow. Thank you.